Hi everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. For today, I'm going to be ranking all of my bronzers from worst to best. I love doing ranking videos and I did a ranking my blushes from worst to best I think like a few months ago, so I have that linked down below. But today I thought I would do a bronzer version of this because I have been getting quite into bronzers. I've sort of been collecting a bit more bronzers. I have some new cream ones and some new powder ones, so I thought it'd be fun to show you guys which ones are my favorite from all of my bronzers. Just a little disclaimer, I don't think any of these bronzers in my collection are bad, so the worst bronzer is still not a bad bronzer, if that makes sense. If they were bad, they wouldn't be in my collection, but I thought this would make a fun video. But if you are new here, then hi, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you found it. I upload beauty videos 4 times a week and I would love it if you subscribed. But for now, if you want to see how I rank all of my bronzers, then please keep watching. So I do have 8 bronzers in total. I'm not counting the ones that are in like a bigger face palette. I have one that's like a duo, but for the rest I'm only going to be ranking like single bronzers. So I basically have 8 single bronzers and one is like more of a contour, but I think that's a pretty nice amount. I do like alternating between bronzers. I don't like using the same product every single day. So I do think I have a nice collection of bronzers without it being like too extensive. But in place number 8, like I said, this is not a bad product, but it's just my least favorite from my collection. This is the Flower Beauty Heatwave Luminous Bronzer, and the reason this is ranking in place number 8 is mainly because of the shade. Bronzers from Flower Beauty are actually really nice. I don't think they're bad at all, but why this one is ranking in place number 8 is mainly because of the shade. So this is definitely more of that warm tone bronzer. It's very warm toned. I have mine in the shade Sunswept M1, and there is a different shade in this, which is more of a neutral to cool toned, I believe. So this is what it looks like. It has that sort of like marble design, and I think this is a really pretty shade. But as you can see, it kind of has that golden undertone to it, which just makes it very warm, and that's honestly a little sad because this is a really nice bronzer. I just wish I had a different shade in this because I think I would use it a lot more then. I still keep this in my collection because, like I said, on some days it is very pretty. And like on days where I'm feeling like very pale, this is really nice to add some warmth back into your face. But yeah, this is a really nice formula. I'm just not the biggest fan of the shade. In place number 7, I have my Glowish by Huda Beauty bronzer, and this is kind of the same story as the Flower Beauty one. This is not a bad bronzer at all. I'm just not the biggest fan of the shade. So again, this one also has that marble design, which I did do a full review on this. I will have it linked down below. I definitely think this is a great bronzer, but it just has a certain undertone to it. So this is what it looks like compared to the Flower Beauty one. I definitely prefer the undertone of the Huda Beauty one, but still it's not my preferred undertone. I like my bronzers to be a little bit more neutral, but this is a really nice formula. It's very smooth. It looks really nice on the skin. It's easy to blend. I forgot to say, but I have mine in shade 01 Light, which I think is a perfect shade for my skin tone. I could probably also use the medium. I have seen some people with my skin tone using the medium and it looked nice as well, but I do like that this is a bit lighter so that it is a bit more buildable. But this is a gorgeous bronzer. It's just ranking in place number 7 because of the shade. Then in place number 6, we have a great recent addition to my bronzer collection, and this is from Tarte. This is the Park Ave Princess, and I just don't know how I feel about this bronzer. On some days I absolutely love it and I think it's so beautiful, and on other days I like it but I don't love it. Like today's a day where I liked it but I didn't love it. I'm wearing this on top of my Tarte bronzer, the cream one that I'll show you in a bit, and I just find this was a little too pigmented. You can easily take too much of this, which is kind of interesting because the shade in the pan looks super light. So this is just the Amazonian Clay bronzer in the shade Park Ave Princess. So it's definitely a cool tone bronzer, which that is why I got this. I didn't really have a cool tone bronzer in my collection, and I thought it'd be nice to have one of these options as well. But this is so pigmented, you guys. So the top one there is what that looks like swatch. As you can see, it swatches really light, but I feel like with a brush, you can very easily take too much of this. It also has quite a strong scent. It definitely smells like more Amazonian Clay products from Tarte. I don't mind the scent too much, but pay attention to that if you don't like things with strong scents. But yeah, like I said, the main reason I'm not sure about this is because sometimes it's a bit too pigmented. But for the rest, when I get this to apply beautifully, it is a gorgeous bronzer, and I like to have a cool toned option in my collection as well. So I definitely think this is a good bronzer. You just have to be careful, and I feel like it sort of has like a learning curve to it. So that is a Park Ave Princess bronzer from Tarte. In place number 5, I have my cream bronzer from Rare Beauty. So this is the Rare Beauty bronzer stick, and I have mine in the shade Happy Soul. I've seen so many people talking about how good these are that I really wanted to pick it up myself. So I got it a while back, and while I do like it, I'm not like in love with it. It is definitely a nice cream bronzer. It's really pigmented though. This is what that looks like, the bottom shade right there. And what I heard everyone say is that this is so easy to work with, and that is what they love about it. And I don't really experience that. I mean, it's not hard to work with, but it's definitely not that easy to work with. But when this is blended out, it is really pretty. Again, it's definitely a bit more of that golden undertone. It's not my favorite undertone, but I do like the formula. It wears really well throughout the day. And like I said, once you have blended this out, it does look really nice onto the skin. It's just that sometimes it's a bit too pigmented and then it's kind of hard to blend out. But maybe if I would get the shade that's lighter than this, I wouldn't have that issue because I am pretty pale and I got the second lightest shade, so maybe the lighter shade would be better for me. But still, I do think this is quite a nice bronzer. I don't like it as much as everyone else seems to love it, but I still think it is a nice one. One that has sort of like a similar undertone but I prefer over the Rare Beauty one is this one from Tarte, and this is the Tarte Breezy cream bronzer in the shade Seychelles. Now this is the Tarte bronzer I was just talking about. This is pretty similar to the one from Rare Beauty in terms of formula, and I feel like on the face it looks a little similar as well. But when you swatch this one definitely has a bit of a different undertone. So the bottom one right there is the one from Tarte. So as you can see, it's a little less golden than the Rare Beauty one. It's a little bit more of like a warm brown undertone. It is really pretty though, and I do feel like this is a little bit easier to apply. I feel like the formula of this is a bit thinner, and I also love that this is available in the travel size, because the travel size of this is a travel size. There's also like a big full size, but I like buying travel sizes when I know I probably like won't go through a product. I mean, I have a bronzer in my collection. I'm already struggling to hit pan on my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. Like, I will never, I think, use up a bronzer, so that is why I got the travel size. It saved me a bit of money and I don't have to waste products that are just sitting in my collection. But this is a really good bronzer. If you are looking for a nice cream one, then I do prefer this one over the Rare Beauty one. But yeah, this is just a really nice bronzer in my collection. I do really enjoy using this. So in place number 3, I have another cream bronzer, but this one is a bit more of a contour product, but I use it as a bronzer mainly. This is called the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. You guys, this is sold out all the time everywhere. I know everyone is like trying to buy it. I mean, like in a Sephora sale, I believe it was sold out really fast, or it didn't even come back in stock, but so many people are after this contour wand, which I get why it is a really good product. So this kind of has that sponge tip applicator, and then it's just kind of like a squeezy tube. This is my second tube of this, and I do really like it, so that's why I ranked it in place number 3. Now this is in the shade Fair Medium, and when you swatch this or put it on your face, it looks so dark, but trust me, it blends out beautifully. Like, I've just blended that and look how nice and sheer that has become. It's definitely more of a cool undertone, but I still wear it as a bronzer sometimes because I feel like it's not like too cool that it looks gray. I think Parka, for instance, from Tarte is definitely more cool toned than this, so I use this as a bronzer. Sometimes I will put like another bronzer on top, but if I wear this on its own, it doesn't look weird at all. But this is just such an easy product. If you want a cream bronzer or contour that's just super easy to blend out, that's like really hard to mess up, you almost cannot mess this up, then I highly recommend this one from Charlotte Tilbury. Just a little disclaimer, I do work as a Charlotte Tilbury retail artist at the moment, but it's still my honest opinion. I loved this before I worked for Charlotte Tilbury. So this is a beautiful product. I absolutely love this, and it's totally worth the hype. Now, the last two bronzers in place number 2 and number 1 I'm going to show you are both from Charlotte Tilbury. And like I said, these are just my honest opinions. I just love the Charlotte Tilbury formula. So in place number 2, I decided to rank the Hollywood Film Star Bronze and Glow. This is quite a recent addition to my collection, even though this product has been out for quite a long time. I got a mini of this, I think 2 years ago, maybe last year, I'm not entirely sure. But I decided to treat myself to the full size because I feel like I would use it more. And I've mentioned this on my channel quite a few times. I think we all know how beautiful this is. This is an absolutely stunning bronzer. I do really like it. It definitely has a bit more of that cool undertone as well, but same with the contour wand, it's not too cool at all. I will say this is really hard to show. It almost doesn't show up on your hand. However, when you take a brush and apply it, it's like way more pigmented. I have just swatched it right there, but as you can see, it just looks really, really light. I always say these swatches do not do these products justice. It's absolutely beautiful. It looks beautiful on the face. I have mine in the shade light medium. However, there is a deeper version available as well. This is just one of my favorite bronzer or contour products in my collection. I absolutely love this, and the highlighter is beautiful as well. And then number one, if you guys watch my videos more regularly, you already know which product this is. There is one product missing that I always talk about, and that is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer. You guys, this bronzer is totally worth the hype as well. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's currently in my project pan. Like I said, I'm trying to pan this, and it's quite hard because there is so much product in here. I almost use this on an everyday basis, and still I cannot hit pan on this. That is how much product there is in here. So even though it is a bit more pricey, it's definitely worth the value that you're getting. There is just so much product in here. So this is what it looks like. It's this absolutely massive pan. Look at this compared to the size of my head. But this is what the bronzer looks like. It's a gorgeous shade. I find this bronzer to have the perfect undertone. It also looks beautiful on the skin. And I don't know if you can tell, but I've used this so much, but there's still like so much product left in here. Let's see if this one actually swatches better. So this one is definitely a bit warmer than the other one I just showed, but this is what that looks like. As you can see, I have the swatch at the top right there. It's absolutely beautiful. It blends out super nice. It's so smooth on the skin. And I just think the shade is absolutely beautiful. So that is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer. I highly recommend this one. So those were all of my bronzers and how I would rank them. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agree with my ranking, or would you have ranked these differently. I would love to hear that as well. And if you did enjoy this video, then I would absolutely love it if you gave it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you don't want to miss any of my videos. All of these things would help me so much with my channel, and I'd really appreciate it. But with that said, and thank you guys all so much for watching. I really hope you have an amazing day, and I really hope to see you in my next video. Bye!